Pocket aces for Gaëlle Baumann. Candellari, who's got kings. King on the river. We have set over set sickness.
Gaëlle Baumann bows to no one.
She's got Queen Jack. And she raises to 1200. Alejandro Alonso has 7-5 suited on the button.
Fine spot for a call.
Why call when you can re-raise? It's a 3-bet to 2,550.
To Ricky.
The small blind is folded. Leo Fernandez gives up the big blind. Action back on Gaëlle.
I don't think Gaëlle can call a 3-bet here out of position.
She can, however, 4-bet to 5,400.
Well, that's an option. If you have a hand you can't call with, turn it into a bluff. Alonso should be folding now. Keyword should be.
Wow. Why fold when you can 5-bet a re-raise to 8,000?
This is a really small 5-bet, so it polarizes Alonso's hand into the air and nuts categories. Once again, Gaëlle really can't call. Which end of the spectrum will she put him in?
Is she considering putting in a 6th bet?
14.
Yes! She re-raises to 14,000!
This bluff has just gone to the HNL, whole nother level. And I think Gaëlle deserves mad props. Not many players are going to be capable of doing this with air, and make no mistake, in this situation, Queen Jack is air.
Game's up, Alejandro. He folds!
The bad news is you got bluffs, son. The good news is it was by a better hand.
Gaëlle Baumann bows to no one.
All right, looks like we got some playable hand shaping up here. Brady's made it 5,000 with pocket sevens. Liebert's in, Baumann's in, and Heisenbelly going to take some pretty sweet pre-flop pot odds with his 10-4.
Wow. Wow,
yes,
wow,
yes,
wow.
Yes.
The car crash you wanted.
Yeah, here it is. Grandma got run over by a reindeer. What an awesome board to be able to continue on, knowing someone's got to have a piece of this, and what big pieces they have. Now you just got to keep it clean. It's going to be pretty tough for this to come clean so that you're confident with a set of sevens here.
I was really hoping that Heisenbelly would blast off with practically zero equity.
Well, he still has the chance.
Nope, he's going to get out of the way, and we're going to go 3-way.
What a nit.
To the turn. That turn card is the 8 of hearts.
God.
Not clean.
That is the nut flush for Gaëlle Baumann, but both Liebert and O'Grady have redraws to houses.
O'Grady does not have as many full house outs as he thinks. K7 would be interesting.
Oh, a wise man once said it's always coming 7. Actually, he wasn't a wise man, he was a slightly confused German.
A Weisenheimer, as we would say.
Is that just a flat from Gaëlle?
Oh, you hate it.
O'Grady calls as well. So still 3-way with 127k in the middle as we go to the river, which is the 10 of hearts.
Oh. Action killer.
Almost a straight flush for Gaëlle Baumann.
Well, that check, he just amidst defeat,
It
just
sounded like it.
Yeah.
You could just hear it in the volume of the thump.
I mean, is there any chance that anyone's calling this bet?
No chance Bart's calling. .44 and Anna says Lex would call here.
There's the fold. Ooh, that's a nice hand. Pocket kings.
Such a beautiful hand.
As Vinton would call them, the Kevin Costners.
Oh, come on, don't do that to me. The Kevin Cleans, you love to see them. Looks like Bowman's going to get a little bit tricky laying the trap.
Let's see if it works out. Pretty safe flop for kings.
Unfortunately for Bowman, neither player really picking up a whole lot.
Yeah. Total bagolino for both the ace-jack and the queen-9. Well, Im does continue with ace-high. 8K.
I think if Bowman flatted a hands like 10s or jacks here, might be somewhat tempted raise flop occasionally, but well, King's just going to be happy, continue laying the trap.
Well, we got one fold on the flop. Lim no longer in the hand. And the turn card is a jack. So Im improves, in inverted commas.
Yeah, not surprised to see her reaching for chips here. Was obviously bluffing the flop now with top pair, top kicker. Gonna be very happy to bet for what she feels is value.
So 37.5 in the middle, and she bets 24.
Nope.
Just a call. Saving it for the river, possibly. Let's see what comes. It's a 10. Baumann with a lock on this. 85.5 in the middle, in with significantly less than pot behind.
So dirty.
I think either way, we're probably going to see all of the chips in the middle here. Does Im feel she can value bet? Does look like it.
I like betting here because at least you can set your own price.
I'd be very surprised if Bowman lets her away with this with pocket kings. With only 30k behind, I think we're probably going to see the all-in.
Yeah.
Just not.
There's the all-in.
Yeah, it's enough to put Im all in.
It's one of those spots where there's so much in the pot. You've only got 30k left, but how is your opponent going to find a bluff here?
I think your opponent can find a bluff. I mean, you can talk yourself into it with the 2 missed flush draws.
She calls all in, and she is out. Gaëlle Baumann tables the kings, or as Vincent calls them, the Kevin Kleins, after his favorite actor from A Fish Called Wanda.
And it looks like IM is putting up her away message.
Pocket aces for Gaëlle Baumann. So she's opened to 20,000. Action has been folded to Candellari, who's got kings.
Oh boy. Kissing his chips goodbye.
3-bet is to 60,000. With the blinds folding, the action's back on Baumann.
Yep.
She calls. And we go to the flop with 145,000 in the middle. Aces v kings. The flop is ace-7 deuce. Candellari now has less than 1% equity.
Another waste of a set.
Action check to him. He has the pre-flop betting lead.
It is a board we're going to see him bet mostly. Obviously, if you're going to check a hand, one of the hands that makes the most sense to check is the kings. But I wouldn't be surprised to see him bet on the small side either.
45k.
Going to see Baumann call and a lot of checks on the turn. It's going to be really hard for Baumann to get all the chips in here. Just not a lot of bluffs that you can float the flop with and then want to bet big on the river.
I mean, I guess the good thing is she starts the hand with not a ton of chips, so being all in won't look super strange.
She calls the 45k and she's got roughly pot behind as we go to the turn, which is the 9 of clubs. He checks again. Continues to slow play it.
I think we're almost certainly going to see a check behind here from Candelarii with the king and the king. Unless, of course, he wants to bet small himself to stop himself facing a huge bet on the river.
Does he not see the ace, or?
Wow, 145k is a huge bet in this spot.
Well, the problem is, if she shoves, he has to call. I mean, obviously, he can fold, but he's priced himself in. Again, she just calls. It's a 95k behind.
Don't you just open muck now? Like,
More than $500,000 in the middle. We can see that Candelarii is drawing dead.
how are you ever winning here? Ever.
Yeah, I think when you bet 145,000 on a turn here, your opponent's not going to call you with a worse hand very often.
The driest board.
King on the river.
Man.
King on the river. We have set over set sickness.
I guess Prague is the appropriate place for an icy cold decking.
She checks a third time. Candelarii wants to see what she's got. It's not that much. And he's thinking, I can get all of it.
He can't.
He shoves, she calls all in. Wow. Doubles up with a set of aces over a rivered set of kings.
Officer, I'd like to report a murder.
Professor Baumann in the poker room with the Candelarii. Why is he looking so annoyed at her?